All right, hey now, it's The Rob from 106.1 KISS FM. And while the Ramblin' one, Jerry Valeri, is in Niagara Falls, check this out. Remember this guy? Say hello to the very handsome Travis Sams. Good morning, Travis.
What's going on, man?
Travis is, hold on, why are we getting an echo? Hold on a second.
Can you hear me now?
Is your computer muted now?
It's muted.
Okay, good.
Oh, so you can hear me then.
I think we're good. I think we're good to go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Travis is visiting us from our sister station, WKDQ. I appreciate you being on the show today. By the way, you need to stand up and give the audience a glimpse of this vintage shirt.
It is vintage.
So is this vintage or is this something you bought recently that's just like a throwback?
Honestly, yeah, I bought it maybe earlier this year.
Okay.
And I'm like, now I got to upgrade.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Plus, I saw you found like another vintage rock shirt that I was really envious of. I might need to stop by Meyer and pick that up.
That's old school stuff.
So
you don't have to worry about a tattoo on that one, though.
I know that you've always... Oh, yeah, well, yours, you're referencing that The Rock got that tattoo updated.
Yes.
I got to be honest with you. While it looks better, I'm upset I can't see the original Brahma Bull in it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with me. Like, that was his trademark. That was his legit trademark. So that's like saying Nike doesn't want to use the swoosh anymore.
Yeah,
what are you going to use?
Right, yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, I know he updated it and it's still like a profile of a bull.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not the same.
It's not.
Because I had an old shirt that has that logo on it too, but it doesn't have like the American flag on it. It was just like
a straight up like
smell what
tattoo.
The Rock is cooking kind of thing. Which, by the way, when my mom wouldn't let me wear that shirt to school because she thought it was talking about drugs. It was said laying the smackdown. Yeah. My mom was certain it was about drugs, and I was trying to explain because like that was when wrestling was all about suck it and crotch chops and innuendo. She thought for sure I was wearing some drug paraphernalia shirt to school.
Yeah, I got in trouble for wrestling in school too. So I mean,
what was your story like?
I may or may not have told a teacher to suck it once.
Who hasn't been there?
Right.
Good for you. I'm assuming that teacher probably deserved it.
She had it coming.
Yeah, good for you. She didn't wind up doing it, did she?
Oh, no.
I've never told someone to suck it and gotten a positive response.
You never do.
Yeah.
But those guys somehow probably could have gotten
I bet you Triple H and Shawn made it happen.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anyway, before we get to Raw last night, wrestling has really infiltrated the regular news, the normal mainstream news with the Nature Boy this week. And yesterday specifically, winding up in a medically induced coma. Although I got to be honest with you, I don't know what kind of dire shape he's in. It seems very confusing.
I don't know. At first they were talking about heart issues. And then later, I think it was Peter Rosenberg said that it was colon-related surgery that he had.
I feel like for colon-related surgery, though, they wouldn't put him in a coma.
Yeah, I really don't know it. They've been very, very private with the whole thing, which understandably so.
Yeah, for sure. But with wrestling, you don't usually get that kind of privacy.
Right.
Usually someone spills the beans to Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
And so I hope he's okay. I'm really worried that like I'm making light of it. And then, later on this week, I'm going to be reporting about him dying.
Let's hope not.
That's what I don't want to see him go.
No.
The impression I'm getting is that he's in bad shape, but he's going to get better. I don't know why I have that vibe. It's just the vibe I'm getting.
I think he will. I think, it's whatever kind of health issues he's got right now. I don't think it's anything that's going to take him out of the ball game yet.
I feel like it's going to take more than some colon stuff.
I think so too. Nature's seen some stuff in his day.
Yeah, I was gonna say Splash Mountain's been around the park a time or two. So, how are you? I know that you're a guy who watches wrestling. Are you up to date on Raw and SmackDown?
Oh, yeah.
Everything going on? Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
You watched Raw last night?
I did.
I just kind of sprung this on you to be the co-host today. So,
well, that's okay. I'm always able to comply when it comes to wrestling.
I thought Raw was one of the better shows they've had over the past 3 or 4 weeks. I feel like with this build to SummerSlam, they've kind of been spinning their wheels, but with this go-home show, I felt something in almost every segment, which is good.
Yeah, it was a very strong show.
Yeah, I felt like it did get me more excited for Sunday, which is the main goal, I feel like, for a go-home show. and some stuff progressed, and I want to talk about some of the ways that things did progress. I'm trying to pull my notes open here, so give me 1 second.
Yeah,
everybody.
I don't want to get ahead on you with the thoughts on things.
So the big thing that I took away from last night, actually, it had a strong start. So there was, I don't know, they seem to be clinging to it as a Shield reunion, even though Roman Reigns seems to be staying way, way away from it.
Yeah, Roman won't be back for that.
They finally, after weeks and weeks of teasing a reunion with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, they officially pounded the flesh. They said, we're boys, and we're going after the tag team titles on Sunday. So, you know, here's the thing. I don't know how much you watch Post to Post or you see my thoughts on wrestling. I feel like recently, over the past few years, I call it millennial booking, and that you don't wait very long for your payoffs. They don't build things out enough. I think a great example is Jinder Mahal as champion. Jinder, I think, is capable of being a champion. I just wish they would have built it more.
Yeah, I think the only thing with him so far is his only proving ground has been Randy Orton. He's had no other trials.
Right. And that's, he's been a very one-dimensional champion.
Yeah.
But the thing, my real concern with him was, 2 weeks ago, he's a jobber. And now we need to believe him as a world champion. That's my disconnect there. I was going to say, I think they could have played this Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins thing out a little bit more. But then I sat and thought about it. And you know what? This was perfect. I feel like they gave you a little bit every week to give you a little bit of development, make you want to see it. And then they finally delivered last night.
Yeah, I mean, for what it was good. I think the segment was a little too drug out with the whole, hey, pound it now, thing.
When you say segment, do you mean just last night
just
or over
last night?
Okay.
But if I'm booking that, if I'm thinking about it, I would have not have allowed that to happen last night.
What do you mean?
I would have not allowed them to connect the fist.
Would you have done it at SummerSlam?
I would have done it at SummerSlam, because here's the thing. They could have been struggling back and forth last night. That crowd wanted it. And that crowd,
and the crowd popped huge.
They popped huge. But the payoff should have been SummerSlam with that. You get Cesaro and Sheamus coming out right when you think they're about to do it, interfere.
See, here's one of the problems I'm having with this angle is I don't get the motivation for Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't get why they're upset with Ambrose and Rollins. And when you have Ambrose and Rollins tearing each other apart in the middle of the ring, why are you going to come out and interrupt that? It's confused. That was confusing to me. Like, just let them go. Let them If you in real life, if you're Sheamus and Cesaro, you want them tearing each other apart. Especially, you don't even have a match booked for Sunday. All you did was poke a bear, essentially. Last night. I don't remember who said it. It was either Booker T or Cole saying, you know what? No one can hit on my brother but me. Like, no one can beat up my brother but me. Yeah.
Like, that made sense why Ambrose would come back in after they were just sprawling in the ring. So I like that. But again, that's one of those things. I think that segment went on too long. It could have done without some of that stuff in the ring where them going back and forth, trying to, put the fist together. But the payoff was good. I just wish they would have waited till maybe they would have beaten Sheamus and Cesaro at SummerSlam.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like they had the decision to make as to what is the payoff. Is the payoff these two becoming brothers again, or is the payoff these two winning the tag team titles? And maybe they chose the latter because that might be the payoff at SummerSlam.
See, the payoff could have been both, though, at SummerSlam.
You know what, Travis? That's a really good point. And even though the segment came off well last night, maybe saving it was the best way to do it.
Could have been.
Yeah, you make a good point, Travis. So maybe they should have held it out even longer.
Just a couple more days.
Do you think they will walk away tag team champions on Sunday?
I think so. Honestly, I don't know where you stand on it. I think it could set up for an eventual heel turn for Ambrose, not so much Rollins.
I really, one of them's going to go heel.
Yeah.
And you're probably right. It's probably going to be Ambrose. I think it needs to be Rollins, though.
Rollins was always a better heel, but
he is struggling as a babyface.
So's Ambrose. He's been in La La Land for quite some time, and I
guess you're right.
That heel turn could have done something for him.
Yeah, I feel like Rollins needs it more. I think Ambrose, the crowd wants to like him, and the crowd wants to dislike Rollins.
Yeah.
So there's that. The women had the spotlight twice last night. So first was we had Sasha Banks taking on Nia Jax, and I thought that was actually a solid match.
It was really good.
one of Nia's best. They got a good bit of time. They made it feel important. I dug Becky sitting on the beach chair, the lifeguard stand, or whatever you want to call that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sorry, I said Becky.
You did say Becky. I wasn't going to correct
you.
No,
I appreciate that. I meant Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I tell you, the spot that got me, I'm sure you saw it, where Nia grabbed Sasha and threw her up against the barricade. Did you see her? The way she hit that, I'm like, wow,
dude. That was a hit. There was some really solid wrestling in there. Nia still strikes me as an NXT star. She doesn't seem main roster ready, but then again, a lot of the girls on the main roster are not main roster ready, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree completely. But I think Nia does have that one thing that no one else does. She's got that size factor. She does look like a monster. I wish they would just treat her more like a monster.
Yeah, they're not booking her properly. She needs to be booked like Awesome Kong was in TNA, in my opinion.
Like, you're not going to make a person like that tap.
Right, exactly. She shouldn't be tapping, nor should she be talking.
No, I agree.
So,
and the smile.
Yeah,
the smile gets me.
She's still, but these are all things that, like, I feel like if she hasn't learned these things by now, these are the basics.
Yeah.
You know, of character development. And then I feel like,
and it might not even be her. It could be the booking, but
I doubt it personally. Some of those elbows she throws though on the ground. I'm sure you've seen some of those.
I've seen those. Yes.
So, all right. So I thought that was good. There'll be another women's segment I want to get to here in a little bit that was not quite as good as that one. I see they finally decided to pull the trigger and remove Elias Sampson's last name. Last night he was just Elias. Did you notice that?
Last week too?
Oh, am I a week off on this?
Yeah, they did it last week. I noticed.
Gotcha.
Like, they're gonna pull this Adrian Neville thing. And now
it's Antonio Cesaro. It's Adrian Neville. They
Big
have
E.
They're so weird. Yeah, Big E was another one.
I don't quite understand it, but hey, he finally got a T-shirt out of the deal.
Who, Elias?
Elias.
You know, I didn't even notice.
That shirt he was wearing. I went on shop.com. I'm like, wait a second. Did he finally get a shirt? It's pretty cool looking.
Did he wear it last night?
Yeah. It was like a vintage,
like,
shirt, like a tour shirt. And on the back, it had all the Raw stops for like the next year.
That's cool. Like a band t-shirt.
Yeah. It was this world tour shirt. So it was pretty cool.
A lot of people have a problem with the singing gimmick. I think he's doing okay with it.
I think he's doing all right with it. He's getting the heat that he needs.
Yeah. He's kind of struggling since Finn Balor's moved on to Bray Wyatt. But, honestly, I can't even remember who Elias, who did he fight last night?
R-Truth came out and he just kind of attacked him.
See, this is not moving forward for Elias.
No, there's got to be some kind of direction for him. What that is, we don't really know right now, other than just a heat seeker.
Yeah. So there was that last night. There was a cast segment. I thought that the segment was good. I didn't know where Gallows and Anderson came from. That's kind of my problem with my problem with a lot of the booking is motivation. Why would Gallows and Anderson care anything about what's going on with Enzo, Cass, and Big Show?
Yeah, that was a thing, and it's kind of gonna jump ahead a little bit to later on in the evening. But with that, Gallows and Anderson coming out, I expected the Hardys to come out during that spot.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Yeah, they came out later.
They came out later.
Yeah, again, it makes no sense.
It could have set up a pretty good 6-man there.
Yeah, right.
But I don't understand that. I don't know if they're gonna be the new club with Big Cass, or I don't know. It didn't really make sense. And plus, something was up with the cage there. It must have been freshly painted. Did you notice Big Show had silver spray paint all on his shoulder and everything?
I must have missed that. I'm always good at missing the obvious stuff.
Oh gosh, I'm like, what's going on here?
He had spray paint on him.
He had spray paint all over him.
That's wrestling.
Yes,
that's just wrestling in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was saying last week on the episode, the cage angle makes no sense right now, just because. So last week, Cass is begging Kurt Angle to dangle Enzo from a cage. At no point in time has Enzo posed a threat to Cass.
Does he pose a threat to anybody?
That's the thing, exactly. So like Enzo hasn't even gotten offense in on Cass. Why is Cass so worried about Enzo all of a sudden?
Someone was telling me they believe it's all a setup. They think that somehow Enzo is going to join Big Cass for a heel turn. I don't understand that logic.
I'm not even positive that'd be a heel turn.
It wouldn't be a heel. I mean, people are still going to go after Enzo. They're going to flock towards Enzo. He's good on the mic.
I can't imagine Enzo and Cass getting back together anytime soon.
No, not with the way things went down. Like,
But I think that they're already regretting this. I think that the management is already, because Cass is not panning out the way that anyone wanted him to. And Enzo is not being viewed as a legit force.
Yeah, you need to make him a little bit more credible, but I think he's got some backstage heat. So,
do you think that heat, is it hot enough that he's going to wind up on a different brand, whether it be 205 Live or NXT?
You know, at this point, I hope he is on 205 Live.
For real?
I really do.
Why?
I don't see that as a demotion for him.
Oh, it's a big time demotion. That's a huge demotion.
No. If you have the chance to be the top guy of that brand, take it.
No.
He could definitely take that brand and make it a little bit more credible if they start booking him as a credible threat.
Dude, not only that, not only do I disagree with, this is a hard disagree. I disagree hard on this, but even his style does not fit in with the 205 Live style. I mean, he doesn't have a great skill set, but it's not for, people are going there to watch aerial, very light, you know, that's not his style.
But he's in that weight class.
Doesn't matter. It's not about weight limits. It's about no limits.
It's about no limits.
You know what I mean? I think that's a huge step backwards for him if he winds up on 205 Live.
I think it's better than the alternative of going back to NXT. I've heard him.
I'd rather him be on NXT. I'm just being honest. And that's a big step back too, I feel like. Okay, well, there was that. Speaking of 205 Live, I want to talk about the Cruiserweights last night because there was a pretty big thing that happened last night.
Yeah, did they scrap a SummerSlam match?
Dude, WTF, this is what I'm talking about. This is so annoying. Why is there a title change 6 days before SummerSlam is the first thing. My second note about this is, take that, Austin Aries. You know what I mean? Who was like,
take your banana and shove it.
No, well, yeah, exactly. It's just like, my thought was, if Austin Aries is watching this, he's got to be throwing the TV across this hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wanted to get that title, didn't get it, was fighting with Neville for months and months and months, and now you have Team Tozawa up with Titus O'Neil. You got him on the Titus brand. You give him a Power of Tozawa gimmick, and now all of a sudden he wins the championship on a Monday night. That made no sense.
It made no sense because the thing is, it was a decent match. It was a decent match,
as it should be. Neville is doing a fantastic job on top of that roster.
So my question for you is, with Neville and this possible shakeup, do you keep him in the Cruiserweight division with the way, like, his character? I'll be honest with you, I did not care about him until this King of the Cruiserweights. Yeah,
and this is really working for him. And I'll tell you the answer to that. The answer is very easy to me. Do you keep him relevant on the 205 Live roster, but you start integrating that roster into the main show more? You ditch the purple. I think they ditched the ropes at least.
Did they? I didn't notice last night.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why you probably didn't notice, just because they were just red like they've been all night. But they still give everyone the unique graphics and the purple lights, and this is not necessary. Just
I don't think so.
Get it off of its island and let all those guys integrate into the Raw roster instead of being on this separate island.
Right. I agree. I mean, that was the problem with WCW and the wrestlers that were in WCW. They felt like, they were just trapped in that Cruiserweight division.
Well, this is even more so because we isolate them even more like this. And Neville's a guy who can definitely hang with anyone on the Raw roster.
Well, and here's the thing with that Cruiserweight division. If you're going to look at it like that, throw Finn Balor in there.
Well, but just let them drift in and out. If you're under 205, you can fight for the Cruiserweight title. If you're not, you're not. But you can wrestle on Raw. Like you can have Tozawa face Braun Strowman, not for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Well, and there's no reason why someone like Neville couldn't be an Intercontinental Champion.
Absolutely, I agree with that completely. And that's the way. That's the problem with everything purple right now.
Yeah,
I feel
agree.
like a few more thoughts from Raw last night. I thought it was a bad move to put. I would have done this differently. I don't want to say I didn't like the segment because I did, but I'm talking about Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. That was fine. I would have handled it differently. I would have had Bray interfere in a match, I guess, because why would you give away a match?
You gave away the match.
And we're still having it, right? Like, we're still having the match on Sunday.
But the Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah, but if you're Kurt Angle or I just don't know why you'd give us that match 6 days before we're supposed to be excited about it.
Here's the thing. The only difference you're going to see between the match on Raw and the match on SummerSlam is face paint.
That's a big difference, though, with Finn Balor. It's not for everybody.
But the match itself isn't going to change.
Again,
it's the aura maybe, but
yeah, no, I think that the face paint does become special, especially when we haven't seen it in a year.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree. I think the face paint, I think the demon character should have been on SummerSlam no matter what. I don't think that they should have allowed a match between Bray Wyatt
exactly
to happen.
That's
like you said, the interference and then Bray putting the blood or whatever it was on him. That would have been perfect.
They used the buzzword. I loved it. Do you know which buzzword I'm talking about?
Well, what was that?
Symbolic.
Oh, yeah.
This was something, if you watch the Attitude Era when there were bloodbaths and crucifixions, they always used the buzzword symbolic because they didn't want it to be religious.
Right.
And they thought that this absolved them of everything. And it was back, Corey Graves said, it was a symbol. It was symbolic.
It was acidic. Liquid.
Yeah, it was viscous, acidic. It was acidic, viscous fluid. Or
yeah,
like it's not blood.
Say what it is.
That's why you gotta love wrestling. You know, McMahon's in the background. Oh, damn it! You call it a symbol. It's not blood. It's acidic, viscous fluid. You idiots. You know what I mean? Like, I can
hear him doing that too.
Ripping his headphones off. Like it's viscous fluid.
Oh damn it!
You listen to Bruce Pritchard too, don't you?
I listen to Bruce Pritchard. I listen to all that stuff.
Yeah, me too. That's I love those guys. What else do I have from last night?
Here's the thing with that SummerSlam match. Who do you think needs that win more?
You're talking about between Bray and Finn?
Bray and Balor.
I guess Balor, although because Bray, they just feed him pinfall after pinfall.
But that was a clean win last night for Bray. Am I right?
Yeah, but it was the Monday. The Sunday is the big one.
Well, yeah.
So Finn has been really struggling to get any traction since he's returned. Can we agree on that?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's pretty much a pivotal time for him. And then Bray, we keep saying show after show after show, he needs a win. He needs a win. Never seems to get it and never loses, never goes down. His value never decreases.
Right.
So, boy, who needs it more? I guess I'll say Finn right now.
That's what I would go with.
Yeah, but that's a good question. And then the only other note that I made last night was I didn't expect to see Mickie James going over Emma. I thought that they still kind of had some faith in Emma, but it doesn't seem like it's much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they just wanted, was it Emmeline or what was her? What was the gimmick that we were waiting for forever?
I believe it was Emmalina.
Emmalina. I guess, I mean, they're still waiting on her to show up. I don't know.
And her, I don't know. I think Emma is definitely cute or hot or whatever you want to call her. But her makeup, her lipstick, her nail, everything looks wacky.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more.
I agree, but it does give off that heel vibe. Like you see her coming out like that, like, oh yeah, she just looks like just a B word.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was what I took from Raw. Is there anything that you think we deserve to mention?
The closing segment there. You had the main event guys out there all together.
How did I miss Brock? I didn't take any notes about it, but I thought it was fine. It was kind of what I expected it to be. Heyman cuts a scathing promo, does a good job, and then everyone else kind of comes out. And I guess the news was that it was Brock and Braun off, right? Or was it? Yeah, it was Braun,
Brock and Braun getting held back by everybody. Which I think is a good call. I think it's some foreshadowing going on to the...
What do you think they're foreshadowing? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't know who I think is going to win on Sunday yet.
I don't know either. Whether Brock wins and later down the road, maybe Survivor Series, you see Brock and Strowman and just this battle, maybe. But if he loses, I think it could be Strowman picking up the win. I don't know. This is one of those matches. It could go any way for me.
I think I'm at the point where I want anyone but Reigns.
I do too. I wish this was an elimination match though.
Yeah, they never do that. For some reason, they never do that. It drives me crazy. I agree. Elimination, because you get the excitement of having all four guys in the ring. Yeah. And everyone mixing it up with each other. And then you have the excitement of one-on-one at the end.
Exactly.
ECW used to do elimination style, but WWE never does. I don't know why. It's just their thing. Well, Travis, I appreciate you stopping by the podcast today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And
glad I can hop on and chat some wrestling.
Yeah, it's always good to chat wrestling with you. Maybe we'll be able to do it again tomorrow, too, if you want to watch SmackDown tonight.
I'll be here.
Cool. Yeah, I know you will be. How's everything going? You doing all right?
Yeah. Just hanging in there, watching some wrestling and talking wrestling, listen to podcasts. By the way, have you listened to ENC's Pod of Awesomeness yet?
I listened to the first episode. I'm not positive it's for me, but it's also only one episode.
Listen to the one with Kane. Absolutely hilarious.
Why?
Because just to hear the stories between Christian and Kane, like, gosh, Christian's such a jerk, but it's so funny. Like, just talking about how nice of a guy Kane was and how much Christian would always pick on him.
Yeah.
And Kane was always like, why would you do that to me? Like,
you would think it'd be role reverse.
You would think so.
What's going on with Russo? I like his podcast. Listen to his podcast. I know you were chatting him up.
Yeah, I haven't really talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
He wanted to move away from here.
He didn't leave though, did he?
No, I don't think so.
God, I want to meet him. You brought him in, but I wasn't here.
Yeah, he came in for a little bit.
You talked to him on your show?
Yeah.
On your radio show?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff are you talking about?
I mean, we talked about Evansville, how he went to college here and how it's changed. Talked about some of the favorite things he did. And of course, I had to ask him about The Rock.
Yeah, I know you're a big Rock mark.
And he's like, yeah, The Rock is the same guy like you would think of. Like, right. he's a pretty good guy just altogether. I'm like, that's good.
That's cool.
That's always awesome to hear.
Well, dude, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to, I'll play the music if I can. Hold on. I can never find the music to close the show. There it is.
There it is.
I appreciate you stopping by. By the way, I'm rocking a wrestling shirt today, too. I got my Seth Rollins Slam Crate exclusive. I need him to go heel.
Just turn them all heel.
The whole heel roster.
Just let him go.
All right, for myself and my tag team partner in podcasting, Travis Sams, we'll catch you again tomorrow with another episode of Post to Post.